Hello, everyone out there in YouTube world, Facebook world, social media world, the world, wherever you might be watching this video from today. Welcome to another episode of Musings with MGL. I'm your host, as always, MGL. Before we get started, please like, click, share, subscribe to the channel. All those things really help grow this channel. I greatly appreciate it. Today, we're going to do a quick little lesson on gift giving of guns. This is the holiday season. We are now coming up into Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever your pleasure may be, the gift-giving season. And it's a question that comes up a lot in the legal community and the gun community. Can you buy somebody a gun? Is that legal to do so? Like, buy somebody a gun, give it to them for Christmas. Is that legal? Is it not legal? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Every state, I'll put the caveat out there that every state has their own separate laws about those things. So make sure you check the laws with whatever state you live in. However, I'm going to give you the general concept of what is illegal for purchasing a gun that is not yours on the federal level when it comes to background checks and things of that nature. And essentially what we're talking about is the concept of straw purchases, okay? What a straw purchase is if I buy a gun for somebody else who can't legally buy that gun, and I give it to them. It's like a fraud situation, basically. I'm a person who is what you would call a prohibited person. I have a convicted felon, I'm a convicted felon. I have a domestic battery, violence injunction. I've been mentally health, Baker acted or whatever, and so I'm, for whatever reason, what the federal government considers a prohibited person, which means I cannot legally possess a firearm or legally purchase a firearm, okay? So I am that person. I'm not in real life, but let's say hypothetically, I am that person, okay? I cannot go into a gun shop and purchase this gun because I'm a prohibited person and can't possess it or purchase it. If I fill out the background check to 4473, the first question is, I am the person who's buying this gun, and if I mark yes, and then I mark I'm a convicted felon, can't buy the gun, they won't sell it to me, okay? So I'm a person who cannot have it. If I go to my buddy Joe, Bill, Mike, whatever, I go to my buddy, and I say, hey, look, I'm a prohibited person, and I can't buy this gun. Can you go in there and buy it for me? Here's the money. Go buy it for me, and I'll give you the money for it, et cetera, et cetera. That person says, okay, great, I'll do that for you. They go into the store, they find the gun, they purchase it, they give your money basically over to the other person. Even if it was their own money, it would still count, but whatever, they give the money to the person, and then they fill out the background check form. And on the form, it says, are you the purchaser of this gun? Are you buying it for yourself, basically? And you mark yes. You buy the gun and go out and give it to the illegal person. That is a straw purchase, okay? You have now committed a felony in pretty much every state in America, and certainly you violated federal law by doing that because it's a straw purchase. You're buying a firearm for a person who is a prohibited person, so you're doing this illegal fraud thing, okay? For people not in the gun community, it basically is what everybody used to do when they were a teenager and couldn't buy alcohol. So you find the guy in the parking lot and you say, hey, adult person, I'm only 17, 18, I can't buy alcohol. Here's $20. Can you go buy me some beer and give it to me in the back alley afterwards? I'd appreciate it. It's a similar concept. It's just with guns, okay? It's illegal. It's called a straw purchase. You're not allowed to do that. The question always comes, and some people have gray area, and nobody, I mean, I know what the answer is, but a lot of people online will give you the Facebook legal answer, and the gun community will give you the legal answer that's either sometimes correct and sometimes not correct. Well, what happens if you're buying it as a gift? All of the elements are still there in the sense of I'm going in to buy a gun, but it's not for me, it's for somebody else. So again, they get confused about that first question that says, are you the purchaser of this gun? The difference here is that if you're buying it for someone who's allowed to have a gun, in other words, let's get rid of me. I'm now not the convicted felon that I was in the last hypothetical situation. It's just me, good, upstanding, a member of the community. And I tell my friend, my wife, my mom, whoever, hey, I'd really like a Glock 19 for Christmas, but, I don't really have the money to buy one, or I'm saving money for something else. But, I really like that gun. And then if that person says, okay, well, that's what I'm going to give you for Christmas, if I'm not a prohibited person, okay, I'm legally allowed to own a firearm. You, my mom, whoever, can go into the store, purchase the firearm, fill out the background check. They can mark yes to that answer because they are buying the gun for them. They're not buying it for me because I told them to. Again, this is where you get in the straw purchase issue. It's because they want to buy it for themselves as the owner, and then they're going to give it to me as a gift. That's different than buying it under the instructions of the other person as part of this fraud, this scam that we just talked about in order to get around the federal firearm laws to get a gun to somebody who can't have it. That's a straw purchase. If I'm going in there to buy it for myself to then turn around and gift it to somebody else, that is not a straw purchase. You may find some people out there who will try and tell you that it is. You may find some law enforcement people out there, or again, internet people who might say, oh, that's a straw purchase. But any gun shop will tell you that that's perfectly legal because, again, it's not the illegality of the fraud purchase of that to go buy it as a gift. You can mark that box that says, yes, I'm the person who's buying this gun, and then just give it to somebody else a couple weeks later or whatever at Christmas. Perfectly lawful to do so. However, the smart thing to do, quite frankly, if there's concerns about it, if people are worried about being straw purchases, or you don't believe me, or you find some other lawyer out here who just has a different legal opinion, again, I'm just giving my personal opinion in the community for all this time. It's not advice or whatever. It's just my understanding of what the law is. If you're concerned about that, though, the smart thing to do is just go buy a gift card from the store. It's probably a smart thing to do anyway, quite frankly. But the easiest way to avoid any confusion about it, if you're really worried about whether you can do it or not, or can't do it, if you're getting different advice out there or whatever, is to go in to any store, and they'll all sell gift cards. Every store, every gun shop that I know of will sell you a gift card. So instead of going in and buying the gun and worrying about it, you ask them how much the gun is. They tell you. You buy a gift card basically for that amount, or round it up, and then you give the gift card to the person, and the person can go in there and buy their own gun. That's smart strategy anyway, because just because I may be sitting around one day and saying, hey, man, I really like Glock 19s, it'd be pretty cool to own one, doesn't mean that I really want you to run right out and buy me one, because maybe I'd rather use $600 or $1,000, whatever amounts freaking Glocks are going for these days. Maybe I'd rather have the store credit for that, because maybe there's a different gun that I'd want first. Just because I said something, offhanded somewhere one day that said, hey, I'd like this gun, doesn't mean that the day earlier I didn't say, well, I'd prefer a SIG 365 instead or whatever, because you don't really know. Gun owners are fickle that way. And maybe on Monday you heard the person say, I really want a Glock 19, but then maybe by Thursday they're thinking, wow, I'd really like a semi-auto for the house instead. So it's always better than, instead of buying somebody specific firearms, to always go with a gift card, because we gun owners tend to be loosey-goosey like that with what we want, where we want it, and maybe we don't even want a gun. Maybe we'd rather buy it on accessories or whatever. So in order to avoid any sort of confusion or concern about what a straw purchase is and whether you're allowed to do it or not do it, just go buy somebody a gift card from your local shop. It's better anyway. And don't buy it from don't buy it from Bass Pro or a Walmart or whatever. They don't even sell firearms like that anymore. But don't get it from one of the big stores. Find your local gun shop. Guaranteed the person who that's a Second Amendment aficionado knows the local gun shops, would rather go to a local gun shop, and they're going to get a better deal and better service at the local gun shops anyway. So buy somebody a gift card. Support local. Go buy a local gift card from your local gun shop and give that to the person instead, and you'll never even have to deal with this issue or confusion about whether something is a straw purchase or not a straw purchase. So that's my advice for the Christmas giving season. If you're going to give somebody a gun, you're better off just going and buying a gift card about it so you can avoid any confusion about it whatsoever. But you're allowed to buy a gift for somebody. It's not going to be considered a straw purchase as long as you do that. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. If you don't celebrate anything, kind of sucks for you, but whatever. If you want to be secular, happy secular, whatever. Anyway, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. If you're going to buy somebody something, go get your gift card. Otherwise, for the holidays, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, and as always, carry on.